This is verse 29 of the 12th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew, the midst of a conversation between Jesus and the religious leaders who have accused him of performing miraculous displays of power against the demonic world by the power of Beelzebub. And Jesus remarks, of course, if Satan is divided against Satan, his house is not going to stand. On the other hand, if Jesus is with the ease that is associated with his identity as deity, casts out demons, then it becomes proof positive that the kingdom of God is being displayed among them. And extending that point a little bit, he continues now in verse 29, or here, it's a, the conjunction a, or post, indeclinable adverb how, dunatai. Dunatai is from dunamai. How would he be able? This is the third person singular, present active indicative. How would he be able? Indefinite pronoun here. How will someone be able? How will anyone be able? How would it be possible for anyone, eseilthein from eserkamai, to enter? This is the infinitive, aorist infinitive, to enter. How could anyone enter? Ace, again repeating the same preposition, ace tein oikion, into the house. In the accusative, ace takes the accusative, to iskuru. Iskuru from iskuros, it's an adjective, it means to be strong. This is the genitive of the masculine singular, so how can anyone enter into the house of a strong one, a strong man? Kai ta, this is the word skuos, which means stuff or things, possessions, belongings, that kind of thing. This is the neuter plural, so, and the things, autu, of him, entering into the strong man's house, and the things of him, harpasai. This is an infinitive from harpazo. Means it's basically tied to the underlying verb airo, to carry away. In this sense, it adds the notion of to plunder it, to take it all, and so on. How can you enter into the house of a strong man and plunder the goods of that man, the stuff of that man? How can you do it? Unless, of course, a may, this is idiomatically meaning if not, carries over an unless, except that. Proton is the indeclinable adverb. It means first. Unless first, de se. This is the subjunctive now, because Ian will take the subjunctive. So this is the third person singular aorist active subjunctive. Unless first he binds. This is from deo, to bind, to tie up. Ton iskuron, the same word, of course, as we had up here. This is in the accusative now. Unless he first binds this strong man. Again, it's an adjective, but it's being used substantively. So he has to first bind the strong man. You can't plunder the goods of this strong man unless you first bind it. Kai, connective, tota. Tota is an inclinable adverb, and then tein oikian, and then same word, the house, autu, possessive pronoun. This is in the future now. Diarpase. This is the same word as we had here. It's harpasai, but it adds the dia at the beginning, which strengthens it. So it means to plunder it thoroughly, to plunder it throughout is the idea. This is the third person singular future active indicative. And Jesus, of course, in a fairly transparent kind of parabolic way, referring to Satan as the strong man and the goods of this strong man, of course, a demon-possessed man, who are now being plundered, released from the demonic possession, being freed and liberated from the strong man's house. And Jesus asks, how can you plunder the goods of a strong man, of Satan and his power, unless you first tie him up? So far from Satan being divided against himself, Jesus is now asserting that he has infinitely superior power to Satan and can tie him up and release the goods from his control, which is exactly what has taken place And thus this becomes the proof, as it were, before them that the kingdom of God, the authority, the promised authority from all the ages past, is now arrived among them, and that there's irrefutable evidence in favor of that proposition.